This is Designed Happy, the podcast where we talk about the human side of home design, remodeling, and new construction. I'm Katie.
And I'm TJ. In the last few weeks, we've had a financial arc that we've been following, and today we're going to keep going with that and talk about the different types of return you can expect for your investment. Katie?
That sentence was too long. Yes, TJ.
Hey, when I say the word roast, what comes to mind for you?
Sunday roast.
Sunday roast, like
No,
food.
no,
Food?
no
Food?
context. Yeah. Specifically, I can't remember the restaurant name. I feel like it's Blackwater something.
I wouldn't know.
Fry or something. It's in London. When we went to London like 5 years ago or so, more than anything, I wanted to go somewhere and have a Sunday roast dinner at like a pub. And we went, and it was still maybe one of my favorite meals. So,
it held up.
You're taking me back there. Oh, it exceeded.
Wow.
It exceeded. Yeah.
In London.
In London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were like known for food.
No, they're not. They're not. But this is like real British food. I mean, this is the one thing they can do, you know?
Oh, no.
It's just a bunch of different roasted meats and shoot, what's it called?
I don't know.
Of course you don't know. It was rhetoric. It's a big, okay, someone out there, write in. It is basically just butter and flour, and it just balloons. Oh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me by the time we're done.
It's a bread type thing.
Yeah, it's not bread pudding. That's not it. But it is.
It balloons. Like, is it fluffy?
It's not trifle, because we had that. It is, it's.
Is it a popover?
It's like a popover. It's giant. It's not called a popover.
I'm going to Google it right now for the people listening. Giant? British?
Yeah, what are you Googling?
Bread type thing. Let's see what Google says.
Uh-huh.
Yorkshire pudding?
I think maybe. Let me Google it to see what Yorkshire pudding.
This is why the people are tuning in to listen to us Google.
It is Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, yes.
It is. Good job. That would not have come to me. But that's what comes to mind for me when we talk about roasts. Is that what we're talking about today?
Yep. Of course.
Good. Oh, good.
Naturally, we're talking about British cuisine here
on Designed Happy, the experience. I'd ask you right back, but I have a feeling. What comes to mind for you, TJ, when I say the word roast?
Well, it's not food. If I were really answering, it would be the old Dean Martin roasts.
Oh, okay.
The comedy roasts.
Yeah.
I used to watch those with my grandpa. That was nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you have like one in particular that you remember? Did you find them funny when you were little?
I don't know if I did or I didn't. I just I remember all of the people on the stage laughing.
Yes.
And it seemed like a fun place to be. And Dean Martin always had a drink and he looked so cool. And my grandpa seemed to like Dean Martin a lot. I was like, yeah, maybe one day I'll be just like Dean Martin.
And here you are.
Yeah. People can't tell us apart.
The Dean Martin of architects. The Dean Martin of podcasting architects. Wow. Oh, if little you could see big you now.
Yeah, wow. I think little me would be like, really? That's what we're doing. It's just
Little me would watch this, little you would watch this podcast and be like, you have a bear in glasses wallpaper. You're the coolest.
yeah.
But
That's probably right.
right?
Yes, but we're
No,
not.
but what are we
We're
talking
not
about?
talking about food
Darn.
or Friars Club roasts. ROAST is an acronym. It's from the
Love an
book.
acronym.
So we've had this financial arc that we've been talking about, and what we wanted to talk about today was the return on whatever your investment is. So a lot of times people would think ROI, return on investment. And the normal way is money. So you're spending a certain amount of money and you want a return on that money. And I have this conversation with people a lot because a house is often your largest investment. And they want to make sure that they're investing the money in their house and they get a return on
Yeah,
that investment, right?
that sounds smart.
Well, but there's other parts to it. There's nuance that there's more to it than that. So
Fill me in.
ROI is the obvious way, right? Return on investment. So
Yes.
some people are starting to talk about return on enjoyment, ROE. So how long are you going to be in the house is part of that. I like to call that the enjoyment period. The amount of time between when the project is finished and when you sell the house is the enjoyment period.
Yeah.
So the longer amount of time that is, the higher your return on enjoyment is going to be. So if you're doing a remodel for sale and you're about to put it on the market, your enjoyment period is going to be very short.
Get it all in while you can. Yeah.
To me, that would mean you probably don't want to spend a lot of money doing it. And the decisions that you make really need to have an eye toward listing the house and what a potential buyer is going to want, as opposed to what you would care about if you were staying in the house. If your enjoyment period is going to be really long, 10 years, 15 years, I'm going to be in this house forever, I have no plans on selling it, then assuming you have access to money, the amount of money you spend is less of a concern because you're going to be in the house so long, and the enjoyment in period is so long that you should really be making the decisions based on what you care about most. So like if you want purple cabinets, if you're selling the house tomorrow, that would kind of be a silly thing to do. But if you're going to have this house for 30 years, make the cabinets purple because you're going to enjoy them for 3 decades. And who the heck knows, in 30 years, maybe purple cabinets are super popular.
Gosh, I hope not.
Or a 30-year-old kitchen needs to be remodeled anyway. So when you sell that house, people are going to come in and expect to remodel it. So, it's the return on enjoyment is starting to become more popular.
I wish I had known this concept when I was about 12 or 13. And we built our house. And when my parents asked what I wanted, what I preferred as far as like paint colors went, I was like, I basically remember those like Dixie cups, those Jordan cups that were like teal purple paint splatter. I was like, I want just like splattered purple and teal paint. And they were like, no, we didn't finish the sentence. Here are the choices between like buttercream and apricot. And I wish I could have said like, but we're going to be here for a while. The return on enjoyment, which I think they would have said, we will not enjoy that color scape you are choosing. So, okay.
So ROI, that's
Return
the
on
obvious
investment.
one. ROE,
Return on enjoyment.
right? So that one's becoming more popular. So the people at home think about that as the enjoyment period, the amount of time you're going to be in the house between when you finish the project and when you think you might sell it, the house. The last acronym, which is why I asked you about ROAST, is R-O-A-S-T. So I had, in the book, I wrote about return on time, which would be ROT. That's a
Yeah.
terrible acronym.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about ROT. So ROAST is return on amount of spent time. ROAST is better than ROT. So that talks about when you're making an investment in your projects, it could be money, it could be time, it could be stress, it could be emotion. So the time that you're going to spend on the project, what kind of return do you want on that? So when we're talking, if you're spending a lot of money, as we talked about before, the hope is that you're not spending a lot of time. So depending on how you think about your time, maybe that means the return on your time is really high because you get to do other things with your time that you wouldn't have done if you were babysitting subcontractors at your remodeling project.
Yeah.
So that's ROAST.
I'm guessing this is the kind of thing that falls into that there's no wrong answer category. It's about what you value. It's about what matters to you.
Yeah, look,
Yes.
yep.
I've been listening to the podcasts. I've been, yeah. And okay, because I was like, okay, is there a way that you kind of like run the numbers on that, and it would, uh, I'm curious, a return that would not make sense. But again, if it's about what matters to you personally.
That's right. So some of this is quantifiable. So when we talk about ROI,
Yeah.
like return on investment in the normal way, we're talking about money. You're going to spend a certain amount of money, and then what can you expect as a return on that? That is quantifiable.
Yeah.
There's something called the cost versus value report that gets published every year. It used to be Remodeling Magazine used to do it, and then maybe it got sold or something. Zonda, I think it's like maybe the holding company or something. And the like consumer level version of that is called the Journal of Light Construction. So you
Okay.
can find the cost versus value report at Zonda, but if you're going out there looking for stuff, I love JLC, the Journal of Light Construction. You can get a free account, and they publish tons of content about the industry. It's a wealth of knowledge. But there's
Sounds fun.
just
Like,
some light reading.
sure.
But so here's the interesting thing about the cost versus value report. It's basically like if you do a project and you sold your house tomorrow, what would you get back?
Yeah.
In dollars, in money. And it used to be this remodeling industry thing, and then they sort of started working with realtors a little bit, and National Association of Realtors got involved. So I have open on my other screen here the 2025 cost versus value report to give some people like an idea of what's quantifiable.
Okay.
Because
okay.
the other piece of this isn't quantifiable. So the
what's on there?
the quantifiable part. So you can change the year. So if you wanted to do like a historical deep dive, you could go back and look at 24, 23, just keep scrolling. So I'm looking at 2025.
Okay.
And then we live in the Mid-Atlantic, so we're in the DC metro area, but it's broken out by area of the country. So I clicked on Mid-Atlantic. You could even choose a city if you wanted to choose a city. I didn't. I just kept that one blank. So I'm looking at the Mid-Atlantic.
Okay.
And how this is organized by default is what the return percentage is. So right now in the Mid-Atlantic region, the quantifiably the best return that you could get is replacing your garage door.
What? Okay.
That's what it says. On average, that job cost in the Mid-Atlantic region is about $4,500.
Huh.
And on average, in the Mid-Atlantic region, you would expect to increase the resale value if you sold your house tomorrow by about $15,000. So that's
What?
300 and change percent. So
Okay.
that's what this report does. And they say you could look at minor kitchen remodel mid-range.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to keep scrolling down here. Bath remodel mid-range, bath remodel universal design. As we go down, the percentages go down.
Yeah.
Bathroom addition mid-range, bathroom remodel upscale. So that might be a good thing to talk about quantifiably.
Yeah.
Bathroom remodel upscale is a 42% return, according to this report. If I scroll back up and I find bath remodel mid-range, it's 79%.
Hmm.
So the interesting thing is it's a bath remodel both ways,
Yeah.
right? The scope of work is the same.
Right.
What's the difference between mid-range and upscale? Some of it might be the fixtures you put in,
Mm-hmm.
but they're saying bath remodel mid-range is $30,000. That's what they're saying the average cost in the Mid-Atlantic is. And I don't know if I agree or disagree with that number because it depends. Bath remodel upscale is $90,000. So
Average
what's
cost.
that $60,000 delta? So some of it might be the materials, but you're
Yeah.
probably not spending $60,000 more on an upscale bath remodel if the bathrooms are the same size. Like imagine a hall bathroom. I'm assuming based on the $30,000 that we're talking about a hall bathroom. So a vanity, a toilet, a tub shower combo, like
Okay.
5 feet by 8 feet, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so between 30,000 and 90,000, I'm sure you could find a way to spend an extra $60,000 on finishes and fixtures, but a large part of that upscale, my hypothesis here is it has to do with the service that you're buying.
Ding, ding, ding. That's, oh, really?
Oh,
I
really?
feel like we have an episode about this. Yeah. Okay. So that's that difference between white glove
Yeah.
and down.
So when we take the quantifiable piece of it and we say 30,000 and 90,000, and I'm not telling you that's what it needs to cost. I'm telling you that's what this report is saying on average it is. So it's a data point that is helpful
Right.
for this conversation.
Right. Right.
So the return on your investment, if you only talked about investment as money, is going to be way lower for that upscale bathroom remodel than it is for the mid-range remodel. But your return on the amount of spent time might be very different with the level of service, depending on what your enjoyment period is. If you're going to be in that house for a long time and this bathroom is meaningful for you, then that delta between those two costs might be totally worth it. It might be
Yeah.
completely justifiable. So when you only look at the ROI, if I sell it tomorrow, I'm going to get back 42%. That's what the return is on the upscale. If you spend 90, this report says you'll get back 38,000 tomorrow. If that's the only thing you're looking at, then this would be a terrible thing to do if you're selling your house tomorrow.
Right.
Right. So that's how I think about the quantifiable relationship between ROI and some of these other things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the most direct. That's the most tangible. uh, I I think all of this sounds like it just bolsters our something we're in agreement on of like time being a very valuable resource.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking roast so far because I just feel like time is some of the best currency we have. But how did you come to that? Like this seems like one of those things that You don't see it until you see it, and then when you see it, you can't unsee it. Is there a particular project, or was there a point in your work that this like dawn you
The
saw
roast,
this?
the roast part.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think there's one specific thing. It's like you do something for long enough
yeah.
and you have similar conversations over and over again long enough where I got to the point anywhere where it was like, I have to find better words to help people. Like I have to create a context here where we can have a more fulfilling conversation. And the heavy air quotes normal way wasn't cutting it for
Hmm.
me as a service provider anymore. So I don't know exactly when it was, but it was a couple years into my commission sales career where I was like, I know I could be doing a better job, but I don't know what that looks like yet. So I'm going to pay more attention to what I'm not hearing people say
Yeah.
and see if there's a way for me to fill the gap. So there's not one project, but it was more of a journey.
Mm-hmm. I, I don't think there's an answer to this because I think what you're saying is it's personal. It totally depends on the, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Is there anything is just again universally a good um uh investment in terms of return on amount of spent time in a home design project? No.
Nope. I'm shaking my head for the people listening. Nope.
Nope. Big no.
No, I don't think there's any way. The way we do this, and we are not the right fit for everybody, but the way we do this process, everything is gray. There's no one right answer to all of it. And so if that's true, then universally, like I don't know how different people want to spend their time. Like somebody might say, I've had clients before
Yeah, this
that,
is what I want. This is what I want. Spill the tea. Go.
um, that have spent the money on the white glove service,
Hmm.
places I've worked in the past. So in a vacuum, in exchange for the money they're spending on that white glove service, they should not have to spend their time being involved. But they want to be involved. And part of what they're buying is somebody the people are capable of providing that service, but they want to be along for the ride. Like they want to see the behind the scenes of the how the dough gets kneaded
Huh.
and turned into bread. So like their roast, their return on the amount of spent time has to do with learning about the process.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're not spending the money to do nothing and have somebody show them option. They're spending the money to work with a caliber of professional that could limit the amount of time that they spend, but instead will show them the ropes.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You really
What?
care.
You
But
sound so
you
disappointed.
I want an answer. I'm kind of curious through this lens. If I came in this week and said to you and Andrea, like, I'm thinking we're gonna totally take our main floor, hardwood floor, and I'm gonna have it painted
Mm-hmm.
zebra stripe theme. Like
Let's go nuts.
that would be your response. That's it. No helpful questions. You wouldn't.
Nope, I'm in. Let's do it.
Cool.
Finisher.
That's it. I'm like, what in terms of that? Like, how in terms of the roast model, what are some things to consider when someone wants to do something incredibly like noticeable,
Specific.
specific, personal?
Yeah. So I guess in terms of roast, I would ask you if you're doing it yourself or you're hiring somebody to do it. That's the part that relates mostly to
That's,
roast.
yeah,
The return on enjoyment, I think, is the part that would relate most to this specific thing, the enjoyment period.
yeah.
So if you're going to be in your house for 10 years and you love the idea of zebra stripes on the floor, then 10 years a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Uh, who cares? Who knows what the real estate market's going to be 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Do it. Um, and let's find you somebody that's going to help and, be on board and be competent in the ways that you care about competency. Or go to YouTube and, spend less money and invest more time and make it a DIY project. And you're going to sand the top coat off of your floor and get down to bare wood. And then you'll paint the primer on, and then you'll draw the pattern, and then you'll paint the black and leave the white, and then put a top coat on. And that'll be your process for this. So you could hire somebody to do all that for you and spend more money and invest less time. Or you could spend less money and do it yourself and right. But your
Yeah.
enjoyment period, I think, for something that specific is the thing that I would advise you to think about first.
Yes. And that in terms of roast, it's so interesting because I am so quickly oh my gosh, I am not going to do that. Like, no interest, no value, no, like, and I can think of so many people in my life who are like, oh my God, I would only do that for the process. I would only do that to have that experience or that
Mm.
shared experience. And that just sounds awful to me. So yeah, okay. Like your point is taken for it really is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really is. So whether it's return on investment, return on enjoyment, parentheses, enjoyment period, or the
Hmm.
return on the amount of spent time, look through the appropriate lens to decide which of those is most important,
Yeah.
right? If you're selling the house tomorrow, it's probably a money thing. Because we know what the market is right now. If
Hmm.
if you're selling the house in 10 years, it's probably a enjoyment period thing. In both of those cases, you can also consider the amount of time you want to invest in the project and think about roast. And as we talked about before, if you're spending a lot or you're spending a little, you can also participate in any kind of capacity you want. So your time spent doesn't need to be a negative thing if
Hmm.
you're getting a positive, like if you wanted to switch careers and become a general contractor, it might be really valuable to you to spend less money and spend more time, and your return on the amount of spent time might be really high, even though it's more stressful, because you're learning a lot about what it is to manage subcontractors, right? So it really depends on the context that you create for the project, which one of these. And unless you're selling the house tomorrow, it's really a combination of all three, which is why they're all part of one episode here.
Which is why we did it this way. Especially with, yes, it sounds like is time is a factor in all of them, but particularly with roast is the question, what do you want to be giving your time?
Yeah.
Like in general?
In general, like if you're insanely busy
Yeah.
between work, family, community, whatever, you don't have a minute to spare, then you're probably a person that really needs to focus on roast. Like you need to find a person or a group of people that are going to be able to help maximize your roast. If you have all the free time in the world and you don't need to work or you're retired and like if time isn't an issue for you, then roast isn't as big of an issue and you would focus more on ROI or ROE.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now that we've talked about all of this, now can we talk about food? Now can we do the food episode? This has been great. Can we go back to Yorkshire pudding?
What kind of side comes with Yorkshire, or is that the side?
All sides.
All sides. All of them. All of
From
them.
I really just
Peas and
remember
carrots, is that a thing in London?
like mashed peas are the one food I don't like. Honestly, all I remember is like the large plate of assorted meats and this big buttery bread-ish
Okay.
thing. So yeah, I'm not much help there.
Okay, when we go for our company holiday dinner, I'll make sure that we get extra peas. Bring us all the peas, please.
It's just, who it's a it's a like
People
I
are
mean
turning us off right now.
they I mean if you like baby food, sure. Like I get that. But oh well,
Well, I'm going to take the pro pea side of that argument, and we could
oh,
debate it another time. Not pureed peas, but
let's
normal.
go fight about this off air.
Let's
I think
okay.
this is the sign we've finished. I
That's
think
right.
this is it.
Yeah. Stop
All
talking
right.
now.
Can do. Till
Okay.
next time.
See ya.
Bye.